Hello and welcome to the first episode of The Breakdown, where I break down some history and music in the genre and subgenres of punk and metal. Today we're going to be talking about what breakdowns are, the first signs or what pioneered breakdowns, genres that incorporate breakdowns, the diversity breakdowns, and I'm going to show you some of my personal favorite breakdowns. Breakdowns in heavy music are usually when a song changes the rhythm, tempo, behavior, or the tone in a song. Usually, the tempo slows down with the guitars, the groovy drums, and the vocals. Now, I don't really know how to explain breakdowns in the musical sense, I guess, or like how they're really structured into the song. I know, like, how I would assume that they are is they would usually come after a chorus of the song. Usually, like, after the intro or like right in between the middle of the song usually is when they happen, or even after a solo in a song. Now, I really wouldn't say that breakdowns really change the behavior or the tone in a song usually, but I would rather say they emphasize the song. They just make the song like that, like they just emphasize it. I guess you could say they make it better. They really get across what their genre is and what the breakdowns, I guess you could say. I guess the breakdown is like the soul of the song, I guess you could say, just as much as the chorus or the bridge is. I think the breakdowns are just as important as the rest of the song. Now, when I think of the pioneers or the first people that did breakdowns, I mean, there's definitely a lot of other bands that you can give credit to, but when I think of them, I think of these bands. I think of Slayer's Raining Blood. I think of Angel Death. I also think of this one hardcore band, their hardcore beatdown. I guess you could say they pioneered this genre. The band's called Earth Crisis. If you haven't heard of them, you should check them out. They're pretty awesome. Um, there's definitely more bands that could be considered pioneers. I just don't really, I can't really think of any other bands right now that are pretty like pioneers of the sound and everything. But there's definitely like thrash. Thrash has definitely had like a huge influence on kind of, I guess, because majority of the bands that I'm thinking of right now are thrash bands. Like Slayer's a thrash band. I'm thinking of this one song, "Creeping Death" by Metallica. They're a thrash band, and that song right after Kirk Hamlett's solo, it goes into the die, die. That part of the song is just so awesome and good. But yeah, as of right now, those are like the only bands that I can really think of that pioneered the sound. There's definitely more bands that could be given the credit to pioneering breakdowns, but as of right now, that's all like the three things I can think, or three bands I can think of right now. There's definitely more. I just not really think of it because um, punk has definitely had like Black Flag, um, the Dead Kennedys, Minor Threat. All of them definitely have breakdowns. I just can't really think of them right now because I haven't listened to them too much, I guess. Um, Genres that incorporate breakdowns vary. There's a huge range, like ranging from metalcore all the way to jazz. Some of the examples I can give you right now are metalcore, crabcore, hardcore, slam, death metal, and jazz are all bands that incorporate, or not bands, genres that incorporate breakdowns. Metalcore breakdowns usually consist of slow, overdriven guitars, which is a common recurring pattern in all of these genres. But one interesting thing about this genre, crapcore, they have synths. They use synths in a lot of their songs, so it sounds. I th- I think it sounds awesome. Others might think it sounds goofy or weird, but there's this one band called Attack Attack, and their song, I think it's their most popular one, Stick Stickly. I think that's what it's called. That towards the end of the song, they have a guitar. They have a guitar matching up with the beat of the beat, I guess, and then they have a synth in the back, and it's just awesome.
This is the time to let yourself go. Lord, pick me off the ground. You never said this would.
I know I've already talked about metalcore a little bit, but I would also like to add like another part of it. They usually have really like melodic guitars. Like they usually have two guitars in the band, and they have them doing awesome harmonies. One doing palm muting, and the other doing like dissonant chords, and just really the one band that does this really good is Kill Switch Engage. They are just their guitarists are just phenomenal. Now, death metal uses breakdowns, or it's mainly surrounded like slow riffs and crazy drums, and by crazy I mean like blast beats. I mean, people have mixed ideas, or yeah, mixed ideologies around blast beats. I personally think they're awesome, but obviously I agree with everyone when they say if you use blast beats too much, it just becomes, not that good of a song, I would say. But I personally like blast beats a lot. But again, I agree with most people when they say blast beats can be too much a little. Now slam, their breakdowns can vary. There's this one band that I'm thinking of right now. They're one of the most generic slam bands, but I still like them. Their name is Peeling Flesh. They they slow down their really like distorted guitars, and they have a snare tuned unusually high, and they have samples in the background, samples of like 3 6 Mafia, or just like that Memphis rap era and stuff. They just sample those in their songs, and I think it sounds pretty cool. But yeah.
Load on my big nine, now I'm finna shoot to kill. If you bother sniffing, this sipping finna do the deal. Load on my big nine, now I'm finna shoot to kill. If you bother sniffing, this sipping finna do the deal. Load on my big nine, now I'm finna shoot to kill. If you bother sniffing, this sipping finna do the deal. Load on my big nine, now I'm finna shoot to kill. If you bother sniffing, this sipping finna do the deal.
So like the diversity of breakdowns can just vary. Every genre has their own form. Even pop and jazz have their own. Jazz uses breakdown really cool. Like in a way, it's just I think is cool. They have the instruments slowed like the other instruments. The breakdowns are essentially just like created around the drums in jazz. They either have the instruments slowed or just completely like quiet or stopped as the drummer goes ham and just shows off his skills. Pop is kind of like that, but I personally think metal and punk use it the best. Now, one of my favorite breakdowns of all time has got to be Curse and Akhenaten by the band After the Burial. They're a melodic metalcore band. I just like everything by them. They're just awesome. Now another good, one of my favorite breakdowns. I mean, I guess is a two-parter. It's got to be Hourglass and Now You've Got Something to Die For by Lamb of God. Those songs, they're just absolutely incredible.
Something to die for. Now you've got something to die for.
Now, another one of my favorite breakdowns has got to be I Will Be Heard by Hatebreed off of their album Perseverance.
I won't accept defeat. I've done things I regret, and it's time to reverse the roles. Now I just wanna make good on all the promises I have made. I will be. I will be. I will be heard. I will be. I will be heard. Now is the time for me to rise to my feet. Wipe your spit from my face, wipe these tears from my eyes. I will be.
Another really good breakdown. I think this one's got to be like top 5 of all time. Like it has to be in everybody's list. Is the song "Future Breed Machine" by Meshuggah. Now I actually got to see this breakdown live, and it was epic. Another really good breakdown's got to be by Speed, their song "Real Life Love."
I know it's true, I thought the best was true.
Another really good breakdown that I really love is Slipknot's "Disaster Piece." I know Slipknot's a really generic band and everything, but I still really like them. I got to see them live twice, and yeah, "Disaster Piece" is definitely got to be up there for one of my favorite breakdowns.
Is there another way to live? 'Cause it's the only way to die. I'm not about to be here. I'm not about to be God.
And that's the end of my first episode. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.